From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
And right now in the Afternoon Edition, it's the biggest travel week of the year, and it's only going to ramp up as we get closer to Thanksgiving. Good afternoon, I'm Brian Yamamoto. Airports are expecting a record number of passengers during the holiday travel rush, and it's going to be a huge test for those airlines. Airports expect their busiest Thanksgiving ever. More than 10 million Americans already passing through TSA checkpoints nationwide since last week. And with nearly 50,000 scheduled flights expected tomorrow alone, the FAA is opening up extra airspace. It's a rare move usually reserved for the military.
We know that people are trying to get from one place to another, and it is our goal and sincerest hope that we get everyone where they go as safely as humanly possible.
And the roads will be busy too. AAA expecting this to be the third busiest Thanksgiving travel season, with most Americans planning to drive to their destinations between tomorrow and Sunday. And if people are not driving, they may hop on a train. Amtrak says it is prepared for the surge of travelers. They say today and tomorrow and the Sunday after Thanksgiving are their busiest travel days.
In the previous year, we had about 735,000 riders, and then 115,000 of those were the Sunday following Thanksgiving. And as things have settled, people are really traveling again. We've seen a whole new level of ridership.
But threats of severe weather could interfere with making it to the dinner table on time. A major storm system now moving through the Mississippi Valley and Gulf Coast, combined with a blast of wintry weather in the Northeast, is expected to hit today. But here at home, much different story. Here's a live look outside the Santa Clara Valley. Clear skies this afternoon. Meteorologist Jessica Birch with a preview of what we can expect.
Heading into this afternoon, daytime highs today are sitting just a smidge above average, especially down into the Santa Clara Valley and Fremont, for example, in the 70s this afternoon. And we're going to continue to see that last throughout this work week and all throughout the holiday. On Thursday, we're going to be seeing 70s all the way off into the East Bay, up into the North Bay with upper 60s in the forecast for us, very similar to today near San Francisco. Now, if you are traveling out of town, keep in mind, throughout California, it's actually going to be beautiful. We're expecting sunny skies just in time for Thanksgiving, thanks to high pressure parked just offshore. And widespread throughout the state, we're going to notice a similar trend. If you're traveling out of town today, maybe to Eureka, over to San Diego, or even South Lake Tahoe, the weather has been cooperating with us really well thanks to high pressure offshore. But as we get out of the state of California, well, there's some issues right now over in the East Coast. We're keeping a very close eye on this major system causing winter weather advisories up into the Northeast and flood advisories this morning and tornado advisories down into the south. That will continue to move its way off into the east and just offshore by Wednesday evening, clearing them up just in time for Thanksgiving.
Well, Silicon Valley Congresswoman Anna Eshoo announcing today she will not seek re-election in 2024.
I'm choosing this beautiful season of Thanksgiving to announce that I will not seek re-election. And I do so with a heart filled with unending gratitude to you, my magnificent constituents.
Eshoo released this video to her supporters saying she will end her 3-decade career at the end of this term. Eshoo was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives back in 1992 after serving on San Mateo County's Board of Supervisors for a decade. Her district covers much of Santa Clara County, including parts of San Jose and San Mateo County. Live look at the White House right now. President Biden discussing how his administration and law enforcement can work to stop the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. The president actually mentioned his meetings with both China and Mexico's presidents during APEC in San Francisco last week.
Last week in San Francisco, we made important progress with both China and Mexico to strengthen our efforts to address this scourge. During my meeting with President Xi, we took a critical step of resuming counter-narcotics cooperation between our two countries.
China's leader did agree to efforts to cut fentanyl at the source, stopping its ingredients from coming into the U.S. from China. In Oakland, parents are sounding off. They say a classmate gave their children and others psychedelic mushrooms during class, and at least one of the students got sick. Parents blame the school and the district over how that situation was handled. Betty Yu with both sides of this story.
A handful of students at Westlake Middle School ate candy from a classmate last Monday that parents say turned out to be chocolate shrooms. The Oakland Unified School District said most of the students who ate the candy only had a small portion, but one student ate enough of it to get sick.
In my case, my daughter was drugged because she cooked something without the knowledge of what was in it. I feel like if a child is exposed to drugs, whether knowingly or unknowingly, they should call a parent immediately.
Brittany said thankfully her daughter didn't fall ill, but she's disappointed she didn't hear from the principal until about 2 hours after staff members were notified.
I was upset for one. I was concerned, highly concerned, because she does have allergies. She could have lost her mind and never came back from it. So I had a lot of thoughts, and there was really no empathy.
Even if you don't know what's going on, I should be immediately notified that my underage daughter is at school high off something that she didn't know she was taking.
Veronica, who didn't want to show her face on camera for privacy reasons, is also frustrated. She said after staff members asked if the students felt okay, they were allowed to go about their day.
You let my child unsupervised, so I feel like they should have kept them all in a room with adult supervision. These are kids. They don't know what it is to be high off this. And even if not, they're under your responsibility.
She said she took Brittany's child and her daughter to the hospital to get checked out as a precaution, but were told hallucinogens do not show up on common drug tests. And too much time had also passed for shrooms to show up on a specific test. In a statement to KPIX, the district said, once we were alerted to the issue involving that sick individual and all the others, we immediately started investigating and called the families of all involved. Several young people went home and the rest stayed on campus and continued their day as normal. As far as the student who brought the candy, the school said it's addressed the person appropriately and asked families to pay close attention to what their kids are consuming. Veronica said the child was suspended for a few days, but she wants that student expelled since she has a prior record of similar actions.
I just explained to my daughter, regardless of who it is, everyone's not your friend, because in this case, that is a friend.
We reached out to the district for a response to the women's specific complaints, but we did not hear back.